pick every tiny little thing that, like, what's the word, that you're particular about, and you find out that this person is a replica of all those things that you don't want, does that mean you're going to marry that person?
Yes.
Welcome to another episode of the Beyond 30 podcasts. This episode, I'm hoping is going to be a very cool, exciting, and I'm hoping to see a lot of you in the comment section because I think it's a controversial topic depending on your background and a bunch of other things. But today's episode is about, would you live with your partner before marriage? If you were to choose. Would you live with them to learn all their quirks and everything? Or would you rather live separately and then when you get married, you live together? All right. And as usual, on the episode, I have my girls with me.
Kumi.
And Dr. O.
Hey.
That's why she waited for me to go first, like, so that she could.
Come. Yeah. So what are we saying today? Like, I don't know. Like, I'll say before marriage.
Define living, Are you saying living for 1 year, living for 6 months, living for 1 week, or maybe spending the night? Define what you mean by living.
Anyone. Once you spend the night.
There are different levels to
okay.
this thing. Some people actually live for like 1 year before getting married. Do you get? Some people
well, I guess the length of the living would depend on how long they've been.
They even dated.
They've been dating. Because like some people, they go from like, boyfriend and girlfriend, and then when they give them the keys, they're like, next level, now we've gone like fully deeper. It's almost like a sign of this guy is really serious about me. And then when they start living together, they're expecting the next step is engagement, right? You're on one knee saying,
Wait. I'm sorry. So they go from dating to living together, then engagement.
Yeah. That's the way, I mean, some of these shows that I've been watching, that's kind of the way they do. Like, they'll say, okay, we're dating, or what now, we're exclusive. Yeah. And then they're just kind of waiting for when they... I don't know, don't you used to watch those shows?
Obviously, so what's going on in my brain is that, first of all, if you're living with him, and that was a step.
Yeah.
Is the engagement still supposed to be a bone of contention? Like, are you still not sure about the engagement?
Like, after you have lived with him, shouldn't see him.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Maybe was it like that during our parents' era? I think so, because I think some of our parents actually lived together before they did traditional.
Yeah, of course.
Right. Yeah. So. And it's not a given that if you're living with this person, you're going to marry this person.
Okay. Then I have a problem with that one, because why are you living with this person if you are not sure? Like, for me, so I know that the Christian church, or the Christian faith doesn't support living together. Yeah. Right. But I'll say, look, let's be realistic. Can we be humans first? The truth is that a lot of couples live together. The one I don't support is you're living together, but there is no destination. Are you living together to just keep yourselves happy, fun, and then when you break up, you now pack your things out?
No, what I've noticed is that living together sometimes, I guess, is a sign of commitment. It might also be that they're trying to like cut costs. Like, they're trying to like, what's the word now? They're trying to not, if they're already in a relationship, and they spend a lot of time together, they're like, what's the point paying rent 2 ways?
Yeah, fair enough.
Right? I think some people, I'm not sure, but I think some people do that. Like, live together because they're trying to like cut costs. Because they spend like half the day together. In fact, more than half the day, right? But I think we should even talk about, like, is it even something that you want? Aside from if there were no factors involved, like there was no... okay, I'm trying to cut costs, or I'm trying to decide, like, why would you want to leave?
So I might not say, that's why I asked you define, I might not say leave, I might say at least spend the night, spend a couple of nights.
But if it's
have that experience.
if you
But
do
maybe
spend
not
it,
moving.
but if you do spend the night, there's nothing you're going to see because that's honeymoon.
No, you still see
spend the
something
night.
like the person snores when they sleep. That's one thing to note. Yeah, you know that if you don't live with the person.
You know if the person is messy.
No, but
yes, you share toilet with the person for a while. You see how
okay,
they use
no.
the
I said
toilet.
if they do one night,
Not one night. That's
or
what I said,
two
spend
nights,
or
sef.
some nights. Some
some people can hide their for like 1 week. Wait now.
The person used to fly in the night. You know? And that's
Why they fly?
I see that flying is interesting.
What you reminding me of all these
flying
old
to?
Nigerian movies?
That's giving me, what's the name of the Mount Zion movies?
It's not only Mataya, even all those old school.
You see someone sleeping in the night with their two legs up. They're not for meeting. Once you put the leg down, they won't be able to come back. So you will not they're going for meeting if you sleep.
Oh God! I mean, I guess people have different reasons for doing it. Okay, so we're saying that living together does not necessarily mean that the person has the keys for a long time.
Yeah, that's why I said define it. Are you talking about living as if we're housemates, we share bills, we are living together, or there's also the part of I'm only spending a few nights in your house, but
Okay, let's talk about that short one first. Then we'll talk about the long one, right? So with the short one, is this something that
I think everybody that wants to get married should experience the short one at least once.
things happen at night too. Sorry.
Wait. Come on, please. We're not talking to babies. If you're a baby,
This show is not for you.
this show is not for you. Tune off now.
Who define baby? Who's baby? Who's a baby?
Like if you're not of age,
What is all
the title of this show
18?
is Beyond 30. So if you are 15, this show is not for you. Right?
Yeah.
So let's talk to mature people.
Yeah.
They already is it sex we're trying to avoid? They're already having the sex
Even
without living together.
Thank you.
So please,
So what are you now?
what are we? Is it that the night sex is different from the
From the
morning
morning
sex?
one?
Like, what's the point?
Or pregnancy only happens at night.
So what are we trying to protect?
So what are they trying to achieve when we say so? Both of you are saying you should live with your partner before marriage, or at least spend some nights.
Spend enough time.
Yeah.
Like, what is enough?
Like
1
for
week.
me, okay, so let me define it. If the relationship is not yet serious, then don't stay.
Okay.
But if you guys start having those conversations of we're thinking of settling down together,
Start meeting each other's family.
we say meeting
and all
family,
that.
we're going ring window shopping.
Once you do introduction.
No,
before.
before introduction. Before by the time I'm doing introduction, unless you do introduction with every Tom, Dick, and Mariah, before you're doing introduction, you should be sure that I'm definitely going through and marrying this person. So it's not introduction time. That's when you're now discovering whether he has heads under his bed. No. Like, so for me, if by the time you start having those conversations of what would marriage between us look like, when are we settling down, things like that, spend maximum amount of time with him.
Maximum. What's the maximum?
I'm not saying leave your house and not have a house and then be a full-time occupant of his house. Have your place.
Yeah.
Right? But then, if you guys are going to stay in the same house for weeks at a time, I don't mind. Because that is when you're not going to see who is this guy really. You cannot be dating and doing restaurant dating and then you want to marry this person. And that's why, I'm sorry that I'm saying it, that's why I have a lot of issues with the way people date in the church. They will date in the church where one brother and sister will be chaperoning you and you can only have conversations with them. And then when you marry, that's how people marry serial killers that they did not know.
Yeah, but that's
Like,
do they now have to live together?
You don't understand. There's some things that if you don't live together, you will be shocked when you enter married. That's when you just be seeing it.
Yeah.
So you
I
need
want to know
spend-
what some of those things are. Because I want to know what some of those things are.
Okay.
Well,
we
what are
already
the things
set
that
up
we're
one-
trying to find?
One
Yeah.
is snoring.
Yes.
Number two, snoring. So what? I say snoring.
So wait. So is it because you want to know if this person snores, then it's a deal
snoring is
breaker?
thing for me. Snoring is if you like.
But why
snoring,
don't you just
if I
ask?
say this happening, me I will say no, because
Because you're
some people that
sleeping.
snore don't even know
Yeah.
they snore. So how do
We
you
can
wanna-
test run it without staying the night now.
Oh, how?
Versus- So, for example, like people, you could just be hanging out during the day and
then he sleeps off.
and you
then
No,
starts snoring.
no. Let's be real. How about those people that fart endlessly in their sleep?
Thank you. That one too is there.
all
that
those
one too
things.
is there. All those things, what? You can't know if you
If
don't
unless
sleep in
it's
your
a unless it's a deal breaker,
I
unless it's a
like,
deal breaker,
it's not a
then
reason
it's
to
not
want to do
like
that.
yeah.
Okay, now what of comments deal breaker is somebody being dirty. If you don't live with them for a while, you won't know because they'll always be clean up when you're coming around. But by the time you stay with them, you see how they will eat, not wash their plate, use the toilet, not flush. Not
And then
clean
some
up,
people
and all
can
these
behave
things.
themselves so
No,
if they know that
there's only so long you
you're
can behave
around.
yourself for. If it's your natural habit, it will show, it will come out. You
But
see
those people
one.
that have you seen all these kind of men that they'll wear a shirt until that shirt is actually stinking? They keep wearing it again. They'll just bring like
Yeah,
they'll
but
just
ones-
leave it.
those-
Then they'll decide if they should wear it again, right? These are people who have a big issue doing laundry. Because
You
he's
know he
lazy.
doesn't do laundry.
He can't do his own laundry. So he'll just keep piling his clothes until everything is now dirty. Then that's when he will do laundry. So if you don't stay with him, how would you know? He'll just come out and he'll spray perfume. He'll want to choke you with perfume. You will not know that it's because the clothes are dirty.
I don't know. I'm not for it.
Yeah, you have not yet seen a valid reason.
No, I've not-
Truly,
I've
we've
not
actually
seen-
giving you a real valid reason.
I've not seen a real
I
valid
think we
reason
don't know how to
to.
articulate it. You also see how it is waking up beside the person every morning, how this person is going to be. I don't know how to explain it, but you just have to experience.
For me, it's like once you
You can't just
experience
go and
it,
be
it's like
surprised like
for
that
me,
in
it's like
marriage.
but me, I feel like it's like once you experience it, then pretty much you people are like you married like well no you didn't actually marry the guy but like you're already experiencing marriage.
Kind of.
You know?
That's the
That's the
point.
point. You need
Hey,
to
why
know
you
if I can do
testifying?
I
running.
sign my
Okay, I will
destiny.
now sign, and that's when I now realize that I can't do this. So what would I now do when I can't come out again?
Before I send
But
my
then,
destiny
no, before
away,
yes.
can I like
Let
see
me
you in
know.
your natural habitat?
Yes.
Like I want to see who you are
Yeah.
when
Okay.
lights are out.
Yeah,
All
and then
right.
you want to see if you can really spend that much time with the person without the person getting bored of you or feeling. You know, some people it's only because they're around for a short time. When they're not around for an extended period, they now start getting sick of each other, like in each other's spaces. Now, like that COVID period where there was a lot of divorces because people were too much
Yes.
in
In their
their space.
space.
You understand? So you need to be able to see that can we actually be in each other's space for a long time? You might not even be talking to each other, but can we still exist and be okay? You know.
Okay.
There is more.
Oh yeah.
There is more. So I remember this was a colleague that told me this story that she and the husband, they had long distance. They were in the UK, but
Yeah.
they had long distance
Yeah.
relationship, like different cities.
Yeah.
And so when they eventually got married, then they moved to London together. Like she was already in London working, so he moved to join her. That was when she realized that where he was, he had somebody that was living full time with him.
Wait, living full
They
time.
were in a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
But he had another
He
girl,
had
another
person
girl
who was
that.
dating the other city that was living full time in his house.
So
Okay.
when they now moved in together, like he didn't know how to act around her because he was so used to that other girl being. They actually got divorced though. Like they actually got divorced because he wasn't sure how to act around her because he was used to that. So sometimes he would just
They
bad.
got divorced. Were they married?
You're not understanding. Okay, so he was dating this babe
Okay.
who was living in London.
Okay.
Okay, I think he was in Bristol or one other state.
Okay.
And then when they decided to get married, he moved to London and moved in with her.
get married.
But before, because it was a long distance, he was living full time with another babe. Let's call her Clarissa.
Right.
Okay, so because he had lived with Clarissa for years, he was so used to her that when he moved in with his wife, sometimes she might just be in the bathroom and he would just open the door, Clarissa. Like his brain.
Was it a flatmate situation?
Which flatmate situation?
Because you know, like
That
in
was
London,
his
like
side chick.
sometimes.
He was living
Okay.
with. He was living with his
Yes,
side chick.
living with.
But that's
Is she even
crazy.
really side
But
chick
I
at
feel
this
like
point?
even if so, but you know what? If a guy really wanted to like play that game, they could still play that game, and you still live with them for a few weeks or whatever, and you still not know that they had another person.
That means that the person has to stay away for a long time because
Yeah.
that excuse is going to give her for not coming to his
Yeah.
house. It's going to be very. It's either he will say
Interesting.
he traveled. That's the only reason that girl will show up in her
Right,
house.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
For this
right.
particular couple, that was
Yeah.
what broke the camel's
Yeah.
back because it was
the gift.
that she now realized that, oh, okay,
Clarissa is
Clarissa is
in your
practically
head.
his wife in
Yeah.
his head.
Yeah, yeah.
So it broke them up.
That's interesting. I mean, I didn't practice it before getting married. So, and I guess for me is I don't want, it's like, you know, there's always a likelihood that when people live together, before you know what's happening, it's almost like you've experienced half of what you would normally experience when you initially get married, and you won't be able to, like, I don't know how to explain. The excitement might not be there, because like when you actually now get married, you've already lived with this person, you already understand their quirks.
Is now, we're gonna have kids and all that. There's more things to look forward to.
But you're not going to
than
jump
living
straight
together.
into kids.
And
Nothing's
there's
going to
other things.
change.
Now that you have gotten married, then you can now travel the world together. You can stop hiding around your parents.
No, but there's
If the excitement
I
is
don't
going
know.
to disappear because you spent a few days
few
or weeks,
days
then
or
don't marry
weeks.
that person.
Yeah.
No, not when I say excitement, not like excitement of like, oh, I don't want to be married to this person anymore. It's just more like excitement
What am I gonna
of,
look forward to?
yeah, I don't know. There's just that freshness that comes with like,
The
okay,
freshness, even after I get married, it will still fit. So
it will fade, but like
Eh.
you need that. I feel like you need that honeymoon phase
Well,
where
you're still gonna have
still have the
honeymoon phase
honeymoon
now.
phase.
Because see the difference when you are
Because
a
you've lived together.
girlfriend
Yeah.
visiting. I did not say go to his house and start cooking and cleaning and
you know that's what
doing wifey
usually
stuff.
happens sometimes.
no. Sometimes like me, when I see
It
visitors,
will
sometimes I
happen.
cook. Yeah, nothing.
No,
Yeah, like
no,
it
no, no.
wasn't.
Sometimes you cook
Yeah.
of your free will.
That's the difference. Because when you're married, it's like it's your
It's
duty.
different.
You have to cook.
Okay.
Everybody needs to eat. But when you're single, it's like, okay, I feel like cooking today. Let me cook for you guys.
But it's setting you up too. Like if you start living with him and you wake up and you're like, babe, what are we gonna eat? Like this when you're not married, though. Everybody's gonna be like, is this how she's going to be when we
No,
get married?
so
That's the thing.
so you know what? So you know what? I think Tammy is not getting what we're saying, right? I have my house. I'm visiting you, right? Even if I visit you for a week, I am still what? A visitor,
girlfriend. Yeah.
right? So I think that line should never be blurred. That I'm visiting you.
But it's hard if you're
is,
really serious about
yeah, I
somebody
don't
and
think
you
it's
live.
hard.
You have to be like I don't know, you have to be very controlled in your mind for you to not blur that line of like, living together with this
for
person.
a few days different from living. It is when you're living that.
I say so that first part where we all practice, well, at least I did like long distance, and I went to visit my husband for, but I didn't live with him.
So
but
when
we
you were visiting,
spent.
did you sleep over?
I stayed at a friend's place.
Okay, then you were just maybe staying there.
Yeah,
So
but he
that's
was
different.
coming. He was coming over,
it's different.
That's different.
right? But he was coming over, but we were spending like pretty much the
but you
whole
not spend the
day
night,
and
you spend the
some
night.
some parts of the
See,
night.
I don't know why. But I
at least
I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I feel like once the sunlight disappears and it's now nighttime, the way vampires used to emerge is the same way some people transform. The real you comes
I
out.
understand. I understand part of what you guys are saying. I get the idea of like just even getting a glimpse of like what it would look like is good, but I just, in my opinion, anyway, me personally, I think it might just be a personal preference. Is if. Especially if I really like, so some of those deal breakers that we're talking about, like if I've thought about my deal breakers and there's no need for me to live with the person to be able to find out my deal breakers, then for me it's like, there's nothing
Yeah, it's
to
two
find
ways.
out.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
The truth is, it's
Well,
not a formula to a successful marriage.
Exactly.
Some people didn't live, they are successful.
And
Some
they're
people live, they are
successful.
successful. And
Sure.
meanwhile, some people did not live and they broke up.
They still
and some
broke
people
up.
still
They live
left over
and
and
they
they still
broke
broke
up.
up. So it's not a formula.
Right, no, it's not a
for-
formula. I think
Yeah.
it's just a personal thing. If
Yeah.
depending on how comfortable you want to be. For me, I wanted to know who I was marrying. I wanted to make sure that there were no surprises.
but yeah.
I wanted to make sure that because when you stay over, for me, you see clues about their personality that goes beyond whether he's even messy and what of. Like there's some people who are mean, right? And there's some things like let me explain it like this. There's some men, right? They're very nice to you when you're in public. But when you are, like Femi was saying, when you are in their space, he cannot help but open his real self.
But you don't need to spend the night to be in
No,
their space.
no, during the day.
Do you know what I
There's a
mean?
timer in their head that you are going to go by 9 p.m.
They're gonna wake up.
Therefore,
Yes. Like some people are actually mean, right? And it's when you've spent so much time. And that's why I don't subscribe to just spend one night and go. Sometimes spend the weekend.
yeah, that weekend or the week or something, you see a lot.
You will actually say lots.
So I'm guessing that it will be something that will be fine for both of you if your kids, your
At the
girls.
right age, if they are marriageable age, I know they're in a serious relationship leading to marriage. Some of the times I spent at Elspace, I followed him to Ijebu from Lagos. Now my parents were aware. Right. I went to his parents' place for the weekend and all
I guess
that,
you know, part of it might be the deeper life inside my body. For me, it's like it's almost like you're taking a leap of faith to like marry this person. Now there's so many, of course, like we said, there's so many things you have to think about. There's so many things you have to be aware of before you actually say I do to a person. And for me, living with the person, whether it's for a weekend, I spend so much time with you already for a long time that you can't really hide. I just feel like there's
they can hide.
no.
Me, I can hide.
I feel like if they can hide it, for me, I feel like if they can hide it, say for example, you date somebody in the same space, not long distance, because I know long distance is tricky, right? With long distance, I understand if, when the person really says, I want to be in the same space with this person. I did long distance. I wanted to be in the same space with this person for a bit to just get and understand. But I didn't need to like sleep over at their place. You know what I mean? You can be there till very late. Like I don't know what it's for me. It's not the same as like sleeping over and intentionally doing it, because I feel like if somebody really wants to hide,
for example, now when you sleep over, that's when you know how they press the toothpaste. If they just press it in the middle.
but
if you don't sleep over, you're not going to know that.
What if they have a big house? What if they have a big house and you're not in the bathroom
now?
No, but
So when
you might not.
You be in another room.
You could.
There was not the point of this sleeping.
No, I'm just saying. Okay. Wait. So we talked about the toothpaste.
Yeah.
Let's go with the example of toothpaste.
Okay.
Is it a deal breaker? It's not. It's not worth. It's not worth.
Okay.
For me, it's not worth doing.
I get where you're coming.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not
worth sinning just to check the toothpaste.
No. So let me confess, right? You see that toothpaste one? It gets me.
This one dirty toothpaste.
Come here, very finicky. You can't tell.
Like that toothpaste one. As in, even my kids, right? I've had that lesson with them. I'm like, so come here. This is how you press your toothpaste.
Not from
If I catch you pressing anyhow, like it really gets me.
Yeah.
So someone like me, I'm not saying it might be a deal breaker that I'm not marrying you because you press the toothpaste in a messy way. But mentally, I would have made a note like, okay, we're all going to have different toothpaste. We can share toothpaste, right?
Yeah.
Or see, the little things, right?
Yeah.
That when you're getting married to someone, you have to be prepared that whatever I say in this marriage, I'm going to take. Do you know that there's some people that get up in the morning and they eat a whole meal and they didn't brush their teeth? Ew!
She is now.
I don't know how that's a deal breaker. Come here, do it sometimes. I do it too.
For me,
I do it too.
See, you just need to accumulate a little bit of those things on my list and we're done.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, if you pick every tiny little thing that, like, what's the word, that you're particular about, and you find out that this person is a replica of all those things that you don't want, does that mean you're not going to marry that person?
Yes!
When they take all the other boxes.
Am I trying to spend
But they
my
take
life
all the other
irritated?
boxes. Amazing.
Okay, hold on. Okay, wait.
Can work on it though. It's not a big deal.
Wait, let's count all the things. Number one, you don't brush your teeth before you go and eat. Wait.
Wait. Before leaving the house.
Wait.
So I don't
Can I count? Like this. So obviously we're having a conversation, right? So
Okay.
let's say I spent the night.
Yes.
He does not brush his teeth at night or in the morning before he goes out.
Yeah.
He presses the toothpaste in a very messy manner. Maybe he will even spill it on the countertop and he didn't wipe up. He uses the toilet, he doesn't flush. He obviously has messy clothes everywhere. I can tell that all these clothes are dirty. Maybe he used plates, he did not wash it.
So you're not marrying. That's it. Marriage over.
That's the end though.
I'm sorry, I'm not marrying you. Nope.
For real, those are things that can be worked on now. They're minor things.
That's what I thought.
Do I look like a mommy? I'm not his mother. If his mother did not know to raise him to be a tidy person,
His mother raising boy.
Then it did not take the training. Did not.
It's not my job to come and fix it. I'm sorry. I'm
What
out.
if he has everything? Zodogu
Yes.
is
He's romantic.
and he says, you know,
He's romantic
I
and
don't want
dirty.
to worry. Hey,
No,
this
no.
girl.
What
don't
It's
know that
not
some people-
dirty.
you
It's
don't
not
know that some
dirty.
people-
It's
Not
just
dirty.
untidy.
You
know that some people-
Yeah.
Some people what? Some people what?
Have you seen this one where some people will have like a dirty pot that they put
I
in
know, I
the
hate that.
cabinet until
I
it
hate
grows
that.
like moko?
My
Ew.
God, and
Yeah.
all those things, I hate
If I
that.
see those kind of things, why will I marry you?
No, but okay. So
But then again, if
there are
you
levels
are the
to this
tidy
thing.
And you
one,
see,
Yeah.
guys, it's only me.
you know that if you get married, if you leave the pot, you wash it. That's his weakness. You wash the pot.
Even I'm looking at you like, yo.
Even me, I'm looking at her like,
No, no.
But I
if
guess
I have the
it's-
perfect guy and only washing pot is the problem. I
It's
see,
the
I will
problem.
wash the
Yes,
pot.
yes.
See,
I guess you
this
have
is
to you have
one.
to
This is
evaluate
one.
all
your
your
priorities, but
priorities.
yeah.
see, if I'd made a list of all the things, because you guys already know that messiness is a
I know.
deal breaker
I think
for me.
it's a deal breaker. That's the difference between us. It's not a deal breaker for us, but it's a deal breaker.
It's a
for
deal
you,
breaker for me.
clearly. Yeah.
I guess so. If messiness is a deal breaker for you, then
Yeah.
you really want to now
Yeah,
live with
then
this
she
person
has
because
she has to live with the person
because there's no way you
There's
will
no way
know.
she's going to
In
know.
fact, I even know. Anyway, let's just hope that the person is also not pretending.
You,
can't
that's why
pretend
you
for
can't
so
pretend for
long.
too long.
There's
So
only
for
so
me,
long.
it's a deal. Like me,
jam.
no.
People are not jam people that can.
There's only so
Because obviously he doesn't even know it's a deal breaker for me. Right?
Okay, so except
he's
he's not
just being-
giving it
living
away.
his normal
He's just
ever.
living his normal life. So I'm not saying that you must be finicky. I don't have OCD. I'm not the tidiest of people. But there's a difference between untidy and dirty. When I start seeing shite on your boxers,
But why now?
said that in one episode before.
Okay.
Why
I
you say that?
I stop.
That person, whoever you are, you traumatized for me.
All right, guys, we've been talking a lot about the short form of living. So, are you guys okay with actually getting keys?
Oh
To
yeah.
your
No,
to-
we
no,
short
no,
form, they
no.
can
When I
give
mean
keys.
no.
Okay.
I have not finished.
Okay.
Getting keys, letting go of your primary place of, or your own place of residence. Not because of anything. You just not pay rent and you're pocketing the money, and you're like it just makes financial sense for us to be in the same house, living together before marriage.
It depends on
Like-
how long. For example, if you say 1 month
One-
is a short term thing, yeah. Like I'm all for short term, but you see that long term, familiarity will start to set in. Then the guy will start to look at you somehow. Then he will now also be expecting you to share some responsibilities. Like, okay, we are living together. Let's share the bills. Let's share this. Let's share that.
Because that's proper.
Yes.
But that's the proper, like people who live with their partners. That's the
Yeah.
most common. They even they have a name for it. Common law
Yeah, common law
partnership.
partnership.
Yeah, a lot of people.
I have
do
a problem
it. And
with
some
that
people
one.
even
Yeah.
do it for a
No,
long
that is why it lasts
time.
that long, because the guy is not missing you. So why should he marry you? He's getting all the benefits of marriage. So what's the point
Why
of
will you
marrying?
buy the car
When
if
you're
you
only
can get the
coming
milk
over
for free?
for a while, the guy
Iba.
will miss you sometimes. But when you're fully there, he can't miss you now. We're already married. Why should I put a ring? Why? When you're
Yeah.
already giving me all the benefits of marriage.
So all of us
that
are on the
long-
same page with that one.
Yeah,
I
we're
feel
on the
like-
same page.
But lots of people do it.
I feel like in
This
my
one is
situation, I definitely spent a lot of time with my husband, but he always had his own place. So that's, and it's not me that will come and stay with you, because that's when you'll not be doing anyhow.
He's the one that will come and stay with you.
Yeah, he can visit me anytime. Like it went two ways.
Come here and I rules. You cannot come. I cannot be the one that will move in. He has to move in.
So let me put it like this, right? So for a lot of women, when you move in with the guy, just like what Femi was saying,
Yeah.
or was it you? You cannot tune off some feminine responsibilities that you think should be your responsibilities,
The,
right?
The lines would definitely.
Right? So at some point, if you are living with him, you will now start feeling that pressure of, oh, maybe I need to clean up, maybe I need to arrange, maybe I need
Basically,
to
you're a
cook.
wife.
Right? So you now
Without
start
the contract.
playing wife roles.
Yeah.
That's why I'm completely against it.
Okay.
Right? But if it's a situation where you guys retain your primary residence and you want to spend extended periods of time with each other, I don't have a problem with that. But I would rather it was the man coming, because if it's your house and you're doing the things you need to do in your house, it doesn't feel like you're playing wife role. Does that make sense?
I get where she's coming from. Like she's cleaning her own
Like
house, so she would have done
mindset,
that
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
Eh.
A lot of girls don't want that child.
You want to go to
And
the guy's
person to
house.
the guy's house.
I feel like, I don't know, from what I see most of the time, they go with what financially makes sense right? So, for example,
And that means that there's now a reason. You know, before when you asked the question, you were like, it's not because of financial reason.
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
it's just
yeah,
money.
yeah,
If you don't have money and you're saving money, that means it's conditional.
yeah.
But however, if you want to save money, it's better to do it with a friend than
Yeah.
a guy that you want to marry, right? If
I'm up for I'm all for
Yeah.
that. All right, so it is now cookie jar time. So we've tried to shake this up a little bit more than we normally do, so nobody can actually cheat and see the question they are picking. Why am I going first?
I
You
know.
already
That's what I was
went, so
looking
it's
at.
okay.
That's what I was looking at. I was like, oh, Tammy has changed.
Why am I going first? So we're gonna try to do a couple of questions in this episode. Not even a couple, like a few questions, a lot more cookie jar questions. Okay, so this one says, are people who live together before marriage less likely to divorce, or is that a myth? And when we were talking about living together, are we talking about short
Yeah, which one
or
are we talking
long?
about?
Me, I think when with this question, what I had in mind was people who actually live together. Common law,
Those
like
ones, the
those
common
people
law
who
one,
live
okay.
together, and the lady doesn't have her own place anymore. Maybe she started having her place and then didn't anymore
Let me.
before marriage.
Let me. I don't know if you guys watch Love Is Blind.
I watch Love Is
There was
Blind.
this couple on Love Is Blind. I won't call names, but there was this couple on Love Is Blind that they were a match. Like we were all rooting for them. Then they got married, and the girl is an introvert. She's a homebody. She doesn't go out a lot. But the husband is a guy about town, and so he said going out with his guys, and he'll come back by 4 in the morning.
Okay.
Right?
That's not okay.
Well, she would have found that out if they had time to live together before.
But they
getting married.
always do with Love Is Blind, though. They always do. But for a short,
no.
You see, they do, but for a short period
And
of
that
time.
one is too monitored because there are cameras everywhere. So that's very different. And sometimes they're even in a different city from the one where they actually live, right? But imagine that kind of thing. If you were staying with him a little bit, you will know that, oh, this is the kind of guy that his friends might just call him up at midnight and just say, guy, what are you up to? And then the next thing, he's going out to the club and he doesn't get back until 4 in the morning, right? You'll be able to see such things. So I think that now they're divorced. And even at the time they were getting divorced, she did like a video and she was crying. She was like, she loves him very much, but she can't endure the late nights, hanging out with the boys in the club until 5 in the morning. Like,
Yeah.
And then he comes home and then dresses up for work.
That one is not ready to be married. But you know that most of those people, most, in my opinion, that go on Love Is Blind, they're not really genuine. A good chunk of them, in my opinion, anyways. So I feel like that can be a tricky one because I feel someone like that is not actually ready to be married. It's very ready to be married. You should know that.
You don't have kids and still be going out.
Don't
4
you?
a.m.
Why would that be the reason why your wife divorces you? Like that's like so ridiculous. Because there are a lot more things you deal with in marriage that is more serious than just being a, what do you call it, town boy or whatever. But yeah, I see what you mean. So the question says less likely to divorce. I guess we're going with more likely to divorce.
No, there's no less, there's no more likely. It's
So
not a ground.
if they live together before
Whether you
marriage,
live or you don't
they're going
live,
to
it doesn't
divorce.
determine. There's way more things involved in divorce than just living together before marriage. Yeah.
No.
No, but what you guys are, I'm going with
no.
your theory, because if your theory is that if you live together and you learn those quirks, you will know whether you can actually be
Is it
with this
something-
person.
yeah.
And that should mean that if you lived with this person and you know that this person is my person, there's a likelihood that your deal breakers have, at least the ones that
Some
you
have been
knew,
alleviated.
some have been alleviated. So you will be there together longer.
I agree. No.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm
agree.
going with.
Yeah,
When you
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
you like your
Yeah,
theory of like
yeah.
you need to learn those things
Yeah.
before you get married. You need to actually live together. So they're less likely to
If we're talking about
divorce.
likelihood, it's not a guarantee. But if we say likelihood, probability, yeah, maybe because you have eliminated some things that could have led to divorce. So
And I think I understand maybe parts of what you're saying, because I think there's a lot of factors that goes into like a marriage, like communication, like we've talked about in another episode, like so many things that some people you just need maturity and a
Yeah,
bunch of
to
other things.
handle.
So say for example, if you live with a person and okay, these are the quirks. Maybe if you live with someone who has OCD, for example, if you lived with them before marriage and you already know they have OCD, you in your mind you're like, I can deal with this, it's not a big deal. So what happens is when you actually get married, you're not spending your first 2 years of marriage dealing with how will I deal with OCD? You've already dealt with it in your mind. So now your first 2 years are like focused on maybe other things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, though, I think for those people who actually did common law that they stayed together for a long time, I think those people, by the time they're getting married, they understand each other. It's not just that they've dealt with stuff, it's that they understand each other. So they're just now formalizing the union.
Right. I think that was even, the question should be switched for them. Those who live together like common law partner are less likely to get married.
Yes. I believe that they're less
Like-
likely to get married.
There's no incentive. Yeah, there's no incentive to get married. Okay. That's the end of this one. Next. Mini, 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 ini.
I will go to the bottom of it.
Feminism is always extra.
All right.
Do you think older generations view cohabitation differently than younger ones? Obviously, yeah, we don't view it the same way.
What do you mean?
Our parents' generation, do they view cohabitation?
Do you
the
think
same way
they're in
we
support of
No, they said,
cohabitation?
do they view it differently? They definitely view it different. These days, anything goes. Like, all this one we are saying, Gen Z will be looking at us like, what's wrong with this one? Me that I live with my boyfriend for 1 year, you are talking about someone you are going to get married to, right? So, older generations, they lived together. Some of them lived together, like you said, but it wasn't something that was very open like that. The normal thing was, oh, you don't go to your husband's house until you have at least done traditional wedding or something.
Right.
But in our time, it became more normal to like spend some time in your fiance's house or whatever. Even some people live longer.
Me, do you know what's interesting?
Anytime Kobe looks like this, is like
No, I actually think that maybe now, I don't know, you know what, from Nigeria, I feel like a lot of the older generation, they actually lived together.
That's what I was looking at.
you
Femi.
think
More.
they lived more together before marriage.
Well, let me tell you why.
Why?
Because in their time, I feel like they didn't have a lot of problems with like, oh, I don't want a guy to be controlling me. They already succumbed to that like lifestyle. Okay, you know, I'm living with this person. They're pretty much wives. They're already doing wifey things in the house. They're not like, but whereas now, you know, we're all like women power. You know, we can't like come saying that, oh, the guy should come, she not going. I feel like it's I feel like it's less so now.
That they live with them.
Yes.
No, I think it's more common now. And the only difference is what they do now is they rent houses together. So it's not your house, it's not my house, it's our house. We rented the house together. That's what happens these days. Right? It's no longer one person's house and one person's coming to squat inside. Now
Now they're splitting it 50-50.
Everybody is
don't
so
know.
I think we do view it differently. Even if you say, okay, they used to live, you are saying that they lived in there with the sense of, oh, I'm a wife, I succumb. In our own generation, they're living there with the sense of, hey, you come
And
to
this
my
before
house,
before they even do
Yes,
traditional
yes,
or
yes.
anything.
No, I think the only people that would have had the problem in
Is
the
it
older
back then,
generation
yeah.
are those that maybe were very deep in church.
Yes.
But apart from them, most people were even getting pregnant before the marriage.
Yes.
And then they will now wear white dress on top. Like, why?
Yes.
We
Like-
can see the big tummy and then you wear white dress. Like,
It
why
was
is
very
deceiving?
popular. Yeah, I thought it was way more
Yeah.
popular then than now.
Than now.
It's just I feel like maybe, you know, again, I feel like social media and just internet
It's just amplifying
makes it
things now.
more so now than it was then. But I can't think of like one parent or friend's parent who didn't actually do that.
And the role
their
of the church
generation.
also
Yeah.
has become was prevalent in our time, where a
Yeah.
lot of people are now Christians and they're now saying, oh, this is bad, don't do it.
Yeah.
And so for us, that's when they're doing marriage. They're now doing
I know.
pregnancy tests before the wedding.
Ah, yeah,
Are
yeah.
you joking with me? Most of our parents were heavily pregnant
those
that you don't need
Mount
any
Zion
taste. You don't need any. Did I say taste? You don't need any taste to see it.
Yeah.
Right?
And they were proud of
getting
it.
married.
Yeah, and they were getting married. It's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
so when I agree that most of them were pregnant before getting married. So why is it now they now look at people that are pregnant before marriage and as if it's a big deal?
Is the church, so you know now, you know, like in Nigeria, like Nigeria is very spiritualized. Like now everything is so like religious, you know. It's like sometimes they forget. I feel like sometimes our parents forget that, oh, in our own time we were
They don't forget they are
did-
pretending.
they're pretending.
They are pretending.
They're pretending.
The same mommy that will tell you that don't wear mini skirts. When you see her own
Back in
pictures.
the days.
Hey,
I
I know, and with nice big earrings,
Yeah.
with trousers on the beach.
Even the same mommy that will say,
Having
don't
fun.
wear trousers so that your bum will not be showing. Go and look at her own. If she did not wear mini skirts, she was wearing trousers. So yeah,
So yeah, okay, your turn now. Come on.
with pride. I even took two.
That's
That's how
extra.
serious I was. Like,
With
okay.
pride.
How do you keep
It's-
romance alive when you start seeing all the unfiltered daily habits? If we're planning to get married and we're planning to have romance alive in the marriage, unfiltered
Might as
daily,
well.
we might as well know what we're getting into. But
Yeah.
maybe he's a vampire, he sleeps in a coffin.
Wow.
You will not know.
Why is this girl always going?
I know extreme.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to, like, yeah, it's extreme. I'm just saying. Or, like, all these people, like, like, even what, so we in the West were a bit sheltered from this.
Yeah.
But those in Nigeria, that they now find out that, oh, the guy's a ritualist.
You know
It's
what?
true, and there's a room in the house that nobody goes to.
What about the
Bah.
people that they will say the person was a ghost? You have been living with a ghost.
Yes.
Why is waking up?
Yes. Oh my God! Do you know those stories were so common when I was younger. Where they'll be like, "Oh, there was this particular one. I think it was
People
my
are
mom who was
going for it.
telling me. I think it was my mom that told me the story.
Yeah.
Like this couple, they had met in Lagos. They got married. They had 2 kids, or maybe 2 kids. Anyway, but she had never met his family, and he always used to say his family lived in Akure, which is a very far place
away
from
from
Lagos.
Lagos,
And so eventually, after they had 2 kids, I think she was also pregnant. She then said, "You know what? I cannot be having kids with you, and I don't know your family. They don't know your family." And then she insisted that he must take her to his family. So they actually got transferred. They went to Akure. At that time, we lived in Akure, and so interestingly, when they were about to get to his family house, he then points out the family compound and says, "Oh, he forgot something at the bus park or something like that. That she should take the kids, go inside, and tell them that she introduce herself, tell them that she's so and so person's wife, and that they should wait for him." Lo and behold,
So Nigeria movie.
lo and behold, but this one wasn't like, okay, first of all, lo and behold, this babe, obviously she was not suspecting anything,
Yeah.
walks into the house and says, oh, let's say his name is Ajani, says, oh, please though, she's looking for this family, call their last name. They're like, oh yeah, you're in the right place, who are you? And then she says, oh, that she's Ajani's wife,
And they're like,
and everybody's like, they're like, huh?
and
And then so the way people will behave, they'll be like, Emma Bino.
like those Yoruba movies.
Like those they're like, Emma Bino. Like if you don't understand Yoruba, you're like, please don't be upset, sit down, we're coming.
We want to digest this information.
And so she actually so they went and called the boy's mother. And then the mom came and like, oh, who did you say your husband is and everything? After interview, they took her to the back of the house where there was a grave. And he said Ajani died maybe 10, 20 years ago.
But wait, what if Ajani did not really die?
And his body is there.
And he
No.
never, as soon as she entered the compound, he never came back.
Hey.
I have goosebumps.
But those stories,
I bet
wonder
that's
how,
crazy. Are you
like,
sure it's
how
real?
does it happen? No, you know what? I was dancing at some point, and then my husband told me that he knows someone personally that it happened to. That was when he started believing that it really happens. But how it happens, I don't understand.
That's crazy.
This one, it happened in our area. So then I was a child, obviously, but it happened in our area. So it was the scream of the woman that called everybody out to be like, what happened? And they're like, So they call them akudaya.
Yes, that's what they call them.
What does it mean?
So basically, it means that the person died and came back to life, and then they usually go somewhere else where nobody will meet them and start a new life. So how would you know if you did not visit him and stay with him a little bit?
But
this man was
but
living
even
with him.
if
She
she
even
even
had
had
kids for him.
with the
Why
third
did he
one,
not
like
know?
she still did not know. She won't know.
Me, I don't know how it happens. I'm not going to claim that I know, but what I think is she must have seen some weirdness.
There would have been some weird signs. that it was so weird that's why she said, let me go and see your family.
Yeah.
Because the part of even not knowing your family is weird enough. She
Yeah.
too, how can you have 3 kids and you have not met one family member?
She
That-
get
Yeah,
mind.
she
She
too
has
was weird.
mind.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, she has
So she
mind.
must have seen, and I agree with you. Something must have been making her, because if you married him and you didn't see his family, then what suddenly changed
That you now see
that you
them.
must see his
Yeah.
family?
All right.
Okay, so episode definitely went.
All right, I'm picking the next one. So let's see that this one is good. I hope this one's good. All right. Do you think couples who live together should have clear house rules? Why or why not? Now, I guess we have accepted that they're living together. Should they have clear house rules? Why or not? And why or why not?
Please, by house rules, can you give me some examples?
I'm thinking they mean
Like
like
doing the dishes.
yes, like
Korean dishes.
I guess if we go with Comer's theory is if the person is coming to your house, then it's your job. I mean, it's your house. So you're not giving him job to do. I mean,
It depends, but you said living.
I guess
That means he's no longer visiting. He's now living. He's an occupant of the house.
okay. So if it's just visiting,
If it's just
you
visiting,
don't
I'm
care.
happy to host you. But that just
How long?
visiting
How
is
long
like,
does it last?
like 2 weeks maximum,
Okay,
and then
okay, that
you
makes
go
sense.
home and whatnot.
Okay, so now if we go past
If you're
that,
leaving,
we're now living together.
then we need to.
We need house rules.
Yeah,
Who is
we
doing
need
the
to.
dishes? Who's doing the laundry?
Who's taking out
Who's
the
sweeping?
garbage?
Who's taking out the
Yeah,
garbage?
Yeah.
So
Oh, don't you
think
guys have those
we
rules
should
in
have
your
clear
house?
rules. Yeah, we demarcate stuff.
You don't have those rules in your house.
Do you know, Femi?
What was the menu?
Dr. O.
You don't have those rules in the house. I think it's a superwoman.
Except for the
She's
kids.
super.
It's only the kids that they have their own. But for us,
Okay, no. Let me ask. So maybe when we
But
say
it has rules.
rules,
Like it doesn't have to be in the house rules. So dropping off the kids at school or like just other things. Like how do you explain it?
okay, so maybe you guys did not sit down to discuss like, okay, this is your job, this is my job. But are there things that you don't do that he just does with, and you just mentally you just know that he does
Only
it?
thing like that is if it has to do with the car.
It's part of it now.
but
Okay, who
sometimes
clears
I
the
still
driveway?
Who clears
when
the
it
driveway?
snows?
Oh no.
Yeah, so
when
there.
he's not around, I do.
But that one he's not around.
But
now.
exactly, like if it's not around, if one of ours is not around, we will still sweep the floor and wash the dishes.
Like, do you want to keep the dishes for him to come back?
There's still house rules. Some of them might not be like you might have not sat down and had a conversation.
Yeah, maybe we didn't have maybe unwritten rules, maybe more like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like maybe if you
So
say unwritten,
in
but
this case,
there
it
was
won't
no time
apply.
to say you do this.
Some people they must have clear house rules. Clear.
Yeah, for some people, yeah.
Yes. Why or why not? What happens if you don't have? What happens when
Chaos.
you're living together?
Chaos and anarchy. You know, some people are lazy, right? There's some people that never take initiative to do anything. So if you don't stipulate it like, oh, Mister, your job is to take the trash out, he'll just never do anything. Now, I'm not saying that that's it in my case. I'm just saying typically that's why people have those rules to say, okay, you do this, I do that. You do this, I do that. Yeah.
All right. I think we're kind of clear on this one where it says like why. Okay, so the question says why or why not. Well,
You already answered.
why we already have the answer for this one. All right, I'm gonna go this way this time,
Sure.
and then I'll come to you.
I'll try not to tell you guys any wild stories.
Actually, we enjoy it. Too.
I enjoy. I might still think
I
about
enjoyed the
it.
last story.
I might think about it after. I'm like,
She's not doing.
I guess I'm still processing.
Okay.
That's it.
If a couple moves in together and breaks up, who keeps the apartment?
Gang, gang.
That's where the issue is, right? When you
Yeah.
have. When,
Yeah.
So is it
wait, is it rented or bought?
Obviously, it's rented. That's why they're asking
Rented.
you if you
Do you
bought
know
it,
some
it's
people
well,
actually go
buy together.
buy and buy together?
Yeah,
That is just
true,
bonkers.
that's-
Like, why?
It's true. There's that.
You did not marry each
So
other,
here, let
but
me tell
you
you.
buy
Let me tell
a
you
whole
what.
house.
Let me tell you
together.
what.
Like,
Let me
come
tell you
on.
what. Let me tell you what. Actually, you know what? That one does not. That one might have been a financial decision, but I think it's not even. It's not only couples that are like. It's not only couples that do it. like for example, in parts like in places like this, sometimes when you buy yourself, like it's hard to just buy property by yourself. So sometimes it's actually a business venture. Like you go to maybe a fund, or like you and your a group of friends or people who just like put and do it. So people do it. I think that what upsets me with couples who do it without putting the right, what do you call it, putting the right papers in place, right? You know what I mean? Where it's like, if something happens and one person decides they're not doing it again, here's what we're going to do, right? Those things should be very clearly defined from the beginning if they're buying, right? If they are renting, the person who is the person that is actually on the list, on the listing or on the property is the person that should decide what they want to do now.
See, my own concern is the women. Please, can you please not buy a property with a man that has not put a ring on your finger? Like, let's just simplify life. There's so many complicated things in life that I don't see any reason why you should be buying a property, but he cannot marry you.
Hey, boy, I guess
Am I the only person that
if they're
feels
already
so strongly
living
about
together,
it?
okay. So if they're renting, you're saying it's okay. You rent, do your thing.
Renting, what's the worst case? We'll terminate the lease, you take our deposit.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes when relationships break up, they don't break up amicably.
But most likely not. Yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
So when they break up and you guys have a whole property together, that is just elongating the relationship beyond what it should be.
We didn't actually complicate this thing very well. We didn't though. There are people who live together with kids.
Yeah.
And so those guys are now qualified for common law
that's what we are
partnership
talking
and whatnot.
about.
So you see those guys
Before marriage.
Look, let me even tell you where I stand. Honestly, this is where I stand. For the man, he can common law all he wants. If you are female, you are the woman, and you are sure that you are the woman. No. You know nowadays there's ambiguity. Sometimes you are not sure. If you're sure you are the woman, please just have a marriage certificate, because there are a lot of like things that can go wrong in a relationship. You want to be protected, even if you don't have prenuptial agreement, but you have a marriage certificate. There's some very clear demarcation of what you get, how you get it. The rules are very clear. But when you do common law, some people have common law in different cities because he's not married. So you know there's what's the thing, bigamy, if he has two wives. With common law, you know there's no rule against it. He can have in Canada, Australia. You can't fight him. So please
Protect yourself.
protect yourself. I mean, just get him. You don't even need to call anybody. They don't need to eat rice or drink champagne.
Yeah.
Just two of you take yourselves to the
the
court's
court
house
and do it.
and do it. And if he's not going to do it with you,
Then he's not ready.
he's not your person. Leave him.
Sometimes
Was that too harsh?
I think we're also looking at it as okay, if some girls don't even want the marriage, want to get married.
Well, if you are the kind of girl that doesn't want to get married, then it's a difference.
Then you say you do anyhow. You say anyhow.
They're the ones that the guy is the one who's ready to propose. He's ready to do everything. The guy is just like, oh no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do it. So I mean, different
No,
things.
so the thing is, if she's the girl, like for what Femi was saying, she's the girl that does not want to get married, then she's not obviously, what's the word? She can't complain if things go wrong because it was her idea.
Yeah.
But for a lot of ladies, they want to get married, but somehow they found themselves in situations where the guy keeps
just wasting
postponing
time.
it. I actually know a couple who they were married for like 18 years, 15, 18 years, thereabouts. When I say married, they were cohabiting. They're done traditional African rights.
Okay.
But
Technically, they were married, in my opinion. Yeah.
but it's not tenderable in courts. So the guy wakes up one morning, decides that, oh, he's no longer in love with her.
Oops.
They have 3 children,
Jesus.
right? Her African certificate does not take her anywhere.
Do they give certificates?
They give
They do. Me, I have.
Traditional wedding.
Yes.
Is it your people that give that one? Or who chooses
Yes.
it?
At the traditional wedding, they actually brought it. Yeah.
It's a good question to ask. I should ask my mom.
Interesting.
So, in fact, funny enough, my husband teases me and he says, this certificate, because I kept it. The reason I keep, like, obviously, I keep marriage certificates because for me, I feel like it's my insurance
No,
policy.
me too. I'm the one that keeps the marriage certificate. Well, I normally keep all the documents.
Okay,
anyway.
so I'm
Exactly,
not-
I
so
think
I'm not
that's
weird. No, my marriage certificate is very important to me. So I
Wow.
have 3.
Go ahead.
Okay, you people are making me feel somehow.
No,
I have
it's
three
exactly
different
what-
certificates.
yeah.
We have the one from the UK, the one from the traditional. We have the church one,
One,
right?
okay.
I keep all three of them. Why? Because never know. Maybe one day one woman will come with big tummy now and say that he's white. God forbid,
It
but
will never happen, but yeah.
I want to be able to prove that he actually married me. Excuse me. Anyway, but yeah,
Three
so
times.
three times. So he wasn't confused, and I didn't jazz.
I know.
Traditional
I know. We need to go and get our own. No?
So yeah, he wasn't confused. He married me three times on three different days.
Gosh.
That means even if I jazzed him before, yeah, so okay.
All right. So who's speaking next?
Alright.
Okay, you next. Okay.
Okay, so what should couples do if one is ready to move in but the other isn't?
Stay in your house.
Yeah, like you both have to be ready now. You can't force the person. The person is not ready. You wait.
I told you, remember at the beginning, I told you people that the way they do relationship
Yeah,
now
you said
is
so.
that order, right?
Yeah.
They start dating, they think, okay, once he asks me to move in, once he asks me to move in, we're getting closer. Oh my God. And then and then when you're done moving, you moved in, maybe you're waiting.
I'm sorry, I asked this
when is he
question
going to
before.
propose?
So is it that when the guy comes, he will now come with the door key? I mean the key
Yes,
to the
now.
door,
Yes, now.
like it's a ring. I'm like
They
babe.
even make a big deal of that.
They
Of that
should not be
process.
jumping. Oh my God, he asked me to move in.
Yeah, it's a new. I don't know how new it is, but I've seen it like on TV. I don't know anybody because most of my own people are still
I think it's more common like in this part of the world.
probably
Okay,
yeah. Where it's like, okay, I'm giving you the keys. Here are the
Yeah.
keys to my house.
Yeah.
You're welcome
No,
anytime.
please, if you want to give me any key, can you give me the key to a Lamborghini? Don't give me the key to your house. What do I want to use it to do? But yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like, okay, and then there's engagement, and then they can be moving level for 5 years.
The one I have the biggest problem with is people that get engaged and they are engaged for 5 years.
I know.
That one is
That's
tough.
really-
Like, why would a guy propose to a girl and say, I'm going to marry you, and they never marry the person for like,
Like if you're not ready, don't propose.
yes.
Till
I'm
you're
thinking
ready.
like, the way I used to think about it, I feel like the whole world is like flipped now. We didn't even used to do this whole, will you marry me on the, like back when you just have a discussion,
Are
they
you
do
talking about our
intro,
generation?
yeah, now they'll do, wait now, you will still do no, what I mean is you will still do, you already know that this person is going to marry you. The proposal is not the proposal is just like what do you call it, it's like a formality.
It's exactly. Oh, me too. I'm like, oh.
Okay, wait. So you didn't know that he was going to propose?
No, I had no idea he was going. I knew that we were.
But you
already
guys
in a
were planning
serious
to get married.
relationship.
Okay,
Why?
did he not tell you that he wants to marry you?
He said that from the very first day he met me.
Exactly.
So then I.
No. The one I don't. No. What I'm saying is the ones where. So you already have that discussion. You've already had that discussion. We're going to get married, right? It's not like somebody will now propose to the person and the person will now say no.
No,
On the
no,
this
not
thing
that we
and
are
say,
saying that they
"Oh,
will say
I'm so
no."
surprised. Oh
But
my
you're
God.
surprised because you were not expecting it at that time.
The party. You are not expecting the
At that
party.
time,
Not that you're not expecting to get proposed to.
but you don't know when. You just know it's sometime in the future, Sha. Maybe it's getting closer.
You
Maybe we're
don't have
getting
you
more
do not
serious.
you do not have deadlines. You were not already planning introduction,
No,
engagement.
proposal came before we planned introduction, engagement, and all this
Interesting.
thing.
Well, you know what?
Eh.
It wasn't like that for me, anyways. Yeah, we already
I
discussed
know
them.
some people like you.
It wasn't-
That we were there. Wedding invitation, and then I saw proposal. I was like, "What's this?"
Wait, I didn't even
Very
do
like-
my own proposal was so private. Like it was so private. It was like after the introduction. Like after it was the same day of the
The
introduction.
proposal was after
I
the
do understand.
introduction.
So no, because we were already in agreement. The proposal was just to put the ring on the finger. That's
I know
all it
people
was.
Like her, actually.
That's all
I
it
know
was. It
But
was
my own
put the
happened,
ring
like,
on the
probably
finger.
because when Kobe is looking at you, is like she her own happen like that.
So you know what? Maybe I'm like,
Yeah.
2 years before you people in like the way we operated. Because
Yeah.
for me, it was just like, I mean, okay, again, my background is they didn't even wear ring in the first place. Oh no, there's no rings. You don't
Or is it
exchange rings.
Bible they exchange?
Yeah,
They're the
you
ones that
exchange Bibles. They exchange
Right
Bibles.
in deeper life, typically
I'm
They
even
don't
sorry,
wear
I have
rings.
a question about that Bible thing. Maybe people watching can help us. Is it that you'll be carrying the Bible everywhere you go to say, I'm married?
I don't understand. Me personally, I wanted the ring, so that's why he did the official thing.
Here you go, do.
Autant. Do
Because
you understand?
the way we know married
We
people
already
is when
knew
you're
we were
wearing
I
rings,
now
right?
see why proposal is not a big deal for her.
Yeah.
It's not
There's
like
no ring.
like my background is not like,
Yeah.
oh, you're going to
Yeah.
propose and then I'm going to be like, yes or
It
no.
could
Like,
even be frowned on in your church.
it's
why you
frowned on.
wearing-
It's frowned. It's
yeah.
frowned on. It's just
So,
some of us are.
Yeah.
I'm still a Christian. Very good. Very good Christian. I just
Temi's
believe in.
rebellious.
I'm not rebellious.
She's
I'm
a
actually.
rebel.
I didn't buy into all that. For me, I wanted the ring. It's a proof. For me, it's a proof of and I just did understand it. So for me, it was like the day of introduction, we did the proposal, and it was very I'm private like that. I don't.
Anyway, let me keep quiet because for me the proposal is like, okay, you start dating, then some point it gets serious, and then you can visit each other, you can spend the night, whatever.
Yeah.
But then proposal comes next, right? And then after the proposal, you are now engaged. That's when you're now officially meeting the family for introduction. That's when you're now planning the wedding.
Oh yeah. So and that's why I'm saying that it's because maybe you guys didn't grow up in that style of I don't even know the style that you guys grew up in. Cause
Do you mean church?
Yeah, I'll say church, maybe church, right?
Well, Anglican. Went to Anglican.
So I feel like with a lot of Orthodox, we call them Orthodox
Yeah.
churches, like so Anglican, Baptist.
I grew up in a Catholic church. So.
Even Catholic, I would still add Catholic as Orthodox, honestly. All those Methodists, those, like the way you guys practice it, you guys are not like, I don't know how to put it, like there's a rule around how you get married, but there's no real, there's no defined rule. Now, for those of us that got married, like with my background being, very conservative, there's even a rule around how the guy approaches you. He doesn't just come directly to you.
Go to the pastor.
Yes.
At least that's even better
So
than
do
the
you
people
see-
that used to see vision and say, I
No,
saw
it's
a
all bad.
vision.
It's all bad. Please tell me, when you go to the pastor, why are you going to tell the pastor? Pastor, I really love this girl.
Yeah.
No, you got to cook up a story. You got to
The
cook.
Holy Spirit has told you.
Me, I don't know if maybe they've now changed you. Now you can now tell your pastor that I'm just like attracted to her. I really love her.
The way I'm even looking, I'm sure that from the way I'm looking, people will be like,
But
what?
did your husband go to your pastor?
Excuse me, can you guess the answer? You should be able to guess that answer.
Rebelled, so you had gone far because
I was no longer. Again, you see, there might be a reason why those things were set up, but personally for me, it was just something I made up my mind not to do from when I saw how it was. I seen how like marriages are in like still some good marriages. I'm not saying there aren't, but I was missing a lot of friendship. In the, I do you remember there's one episode we did. We're talking about how some couples cannot be best friends and some can be best friends. There are lots of couples that are not best. Like it's not even about not best. Some of them are not even friends. They just see marriage as a duty. It's time to get married. Let's get married. And they're like, oh, he's a good guy. He can take care of me. He has money. The way the courtship is even done, I'm just like, I should be able to hang out with somebody that I want to get married to without somebody being present in that space.
when they're hanging out, someone has to.
They were the ones I was talking about when I said that they will have a chaperone there.
Yes.
Monitoring everything you are saying to each
You
other.
can't go to eatery by yourself. Hopefully it changed a couple of things because I feel like it just makes it easier for people to cloak themselves and hide their true identity. And then you now find it out after you get married. No, we have not even reached the level of would you leave? That would you leave is like for normal, what do you call it? that one you won't even get to even experience the person in their real raw
You don't
form.
even get to visit them.
Never, not without somebody being
chaperone,
present.
like you
Okay,
said.
why can't someone accompany you and then you go visit?
Even their company, girl, you can accompany.
Yeah.
These people are gonna be married. They're gonna spend the rest of their life together. I wanted to be
For example,
able
if
to
someone is an
choose.
abuser, they can't show
You
you those things in
can't
front of a chaperone.
know.
Yeah,
now.
of course.
You
It's
can't
when you're
know.
alone that-
Very easy to hide. And I
Yeah.
saw some things that scared me, and I was like, I don't want this, right? And that's why I was very intentional. Like, I'm not going to marry somebody who's not my friend. And when I mean, now there might be couples in the same church that got married because they're friends. It's possible, but they must have gamed the system a little. Because they must have hidden parts of their friendship, like how deep, how maybe they met in uni. Because university, when you're in private and public university, it's a little different, right? You can't do whatever. Nobody will know. And you people have been friends for a long time. You've gisted, you've hung out together, you've gone out, you made friends with other people. It's very different. But like if you didn't meet in that in that university environment, it's very difficult to really know their true nature.
Sure.
And so that's what I was keen on. So I still wanted to marry a Christian. And being exposed to like the university, I saw lots of people who were Christians and they were still doing the right, like marrying properly, marrying right. And, so I was like, why would I put myself through that? And, so I was just like,
Oh my
nope.
God.
So,
Deep. In fact, Femi even said something about abuser. That's another reason you visited the guy.
yes, abusive. Yeah, no, that one, I understand.
I called
that.
him mean. Femi has a better name for it. Abusive.
Okay, that's what you meant when you said me.
No, there's levels. Mean is even different. Abuse, how do you even...
Do you think that people will beat a girlfriend?
You've not heard of people slapping their
Yes,
girlfriends before.
no, slap is even better.
that's
One, they will bring out belts
Belts.
and be belting.
Yes.
There were stories we heard in uni.
Yeah.
God,
Belts.
Yeah. For girlfriend, you're not even
For
fiancé or
girlfriend.
something.
For
I have a
girlfriend.
question. And what was the girl doing?
Some of them were still... Those things used to baffle me. Like, when I was in uni and you
Did he
hear-
tie her?
Who knows?
some
Some
of
things
them,
they
they
don't
do
even
tell
tell
them.
you.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't even... No, it's like, it becomes like a... Like, what do you call it? Like, it just becomes a fight.
And it's not BDSM. I rest my case.
No, lots of things happen. No, lots of things. I'm telling you.
You're using belts to beat a girlfriend. And then what? Is she going to pose for?
And she'll still be
Like,
there.
does she
She'll still be
actually-
there in that relationship. That's the part I don't
Does she
even
actually
understand.
pose for the
First of all,
strokes? Like, is it?
No, she's not
How?
posing. I can't explain it, but it happens. It happens.
A bush.
Hey, God protect us and our
Does
children.
religion play a role in whether or not people choose to live together before marriage?
Oh, I think we've covered
Yeah,
that.
we've talked about it. Let's take
I
one.
think it's definitely yes. Religion. Oh, how is it like for the Muslims? Do they live together?
No, they don't. That one, I don't know a lot about Islam, but I don't think they do. I think they are even more. Yeah, they're stricter than most Christians when
Okay.
it comes to stuff.
Yeah. So that makes
Although,
sense.
but I think
So I
in
guess
Africa,
religion,
I think in
yeah.
Africa though, a lot of our tradition gets mixed with our religion.
I think that's the problem. Is that
so there is no clear cut like so for us. Like I remember there was someone who her mother-in-law to be insisted that she has to be pregnant before the marriage.
Yeah, I heard,
And these
I heard
people
that
are
happen a
Christians
lot.
now.
Interesting.
They're Christians. So not only are you sanctioning the sex, you are sanctioning
The outcome.
the outcome,
Wow, that's crazy.
right? Okay.
That's crazy. Okay, is
Right.
it my turn? Or
Yeah, I think we have one more and then
Okay.
audience.
So we give it to the audience.
All right, let's go. Ooh, this one's a bit, I don't want to say personal, but it is kind of personal. What's one thing you wish you knew before living with a partner?
Again.
Ah!
I love to hear it.
Oh.
Okay, this one makes me.
Why is let me answer?
I'm getting
didn't wanna
ready.
go first,
I'm getting ready to get ready. All right, please, ma'am.
What's one thing? I'm thinking, okay. Hold on. So I'd say like for me, one thing I wish I knew was how organized my husband is. I cannot organize anything for the life of, for me to be able to survive. I can't organize, but he's so like meticulous. And I was just like, if I knew this, I don't know if it would have changed anything, no. But I think maybe I'd have dealt with it a bit more.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's my one thing. Organization is a good thing, by the way. It's just, so here's the thing. I love organization, but I don't love doing the job of organization. Like growing up, my sister was the one that was more, she's just natural at clearing up, right? Not sweeping or anything, just cleaning up a space, right? And making things aligned. And I didn't care too much for it, right? But I loved what comes out of it. So, so what that made me realize is people have different levels of how they prioritize things and how their brain works. You know, because some people, that's how they function, right? If something is organized, then they function better, faster, they're more efficient. Whereas some of us, we can function, if you enter our head,
It's untidy.
it's a mess. So yes, that's my one thing. Yeah, Femi.
Mine will be, I think I said it on one of our episodes before that, about living together. I don't know that I'll have to think of what somebody's going to eat every day. That thing is a lot of mental math for me. Like I always say, cooking is not the problem. Thinking of what, you just tell me what you want to eat. My husband
There's
never knows
no
what he wants to
timetable.
eat. Which timetable? Maybe I have to sit down. But the problem with me is, if I have that timetable, I won't feel like eating was on that timetable.
That's a
the
different
That's the
problem.
problem I have.
That's a different problem. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I think for me, it's just the fact that my husband is a morning person and I'm a night person.
Same with me.
So we spent a lot of time together before we got married, but I feel like in marriage it was now very it was more
pronounced,
obvious,
yeah.
more pronounced, because now in the morning by 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock by 6 o'clock maximum, he's already tossing and turning, he's awake. Me, that's when I just started sleeping. So
You know, maybe if you're with me, I'll just be, they'll be singing, they'll be jumping, they'll be dancing.
By that
Such a
so do
morning
you know
person.
what? There was even something that happened yesterday that it's just because I'm not a morning person. Like by 8 o'clock, he turned on the music
Yeah.
and it was loud.
Yeah.
I was so upset.
It's like, why are you high on a morning?
Right? And so I was telling him, I was like, the music is too loud. He gave me this funny look, like
Like, is it 2 o'clock? Why are you still sleeping?
I wasn't even sleeping, but I was still in bed. But I wasn't sleeping. But the thing is that I think at that point I was trying to debate, should I sleep or should I not sleep? And then he now went and put it in music. So I think when we got married, that became a very obvious thing. And so anything that needs to be done in the morning,
He does.
and then anything that
I like that. I
to
like
stay
that
in the
one.
evening,
Yeah,
I'll
I like that
take
one.
care
I
of those
like that
things.
one. Cool. All right, so this one is for the audience, and you know, if you've been enjoying our episodes so far and you have not subscribed, click why? Why? Please click the subscribe button, like, comment, share with your friends. No, let me shake this thing very well for you guys. I'm gonna drum around that. Okay. I hope I picked a good one. Okay. Okay. If you had to describe living with a partner in one word, what would it be? I could think of one or two, but this is for you, okay? So yeah, don't forget to drop a comment to this, your answer to this question in the comment section of our YouTube page or Instagram page. And yeah, we'll see you again for another exciting episode. Bye.